What's up, guys? Welcome back to another fantastic video. Today we're going to be going over the World Cup quarterfinals, and today we'll be going over all four games, all four matchups in the round of 8, as you call them, quarterfinals. France versus Morocco. We're going to be tackling Spain versus Belgium, England versus Norway, excuse me, and Argentina versus Switzerland. But before we get into this, I would like to say to like, share, subscribe, so I can push this channel out, see more people, and don't forget to comment for the algorithm. With all that being said, let's start off with this video. Starting with the first game of the slate is France versus Morocco. As you can see, my jersey selection here, we're going to be going hard with France, man. France has looked phenomenal this entire World Cup. They defeated the likes of Iraq, Senegal, they thrashed Norway, they thrashed Sweden. They had a disgusting game against Paraguay, but that's more to say about Paraguay's low block than anything. But on the other side, Morocco has had a really good tournament as well, man. They tied Brazil in their first ever game, putting the world on notice. They beat Scotland, they beat Haiti, they've tied and beat Netherlands through a penalty shootout. They destroyed Canada, and now they play the best team in the entire world, in my opinion. Some things I would say about this game. I don't think you should let the Paraguay game fool you. Paraguay invented a new version of heron ball. They were playing super low. They had no plan of attack. Their entire idea seemed to be, let's not play soccer. Let's try to attack the France players and try to get in their heads, which obviously didn't work, as they are home now. And all the things that lady, as a dictator, whatever she is, to the senator of Paraguay, that female, clown energy, hateful energy, spiteful, racist energy, wish nothing but the worst for her. We don't have places in the world for people like her, so hopefully she'll lose her position, as the entire world nations are looking into it. FIFA's looking into it. The actual head of the table in Paraguay is looking into taking her role. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, look it up. Mbappe, racism, Paraguay. You'll find the whole article, all the things that she said. I'm not saying her name for a reason, not trying to give light to it. With all that being said, regardless, this game will be fireworks in my opinion. France's offense didn't look potent because Paraguay elected to play rugby instead of soccer, as I just mentioned. So Morocco isn't going to play a low block. And I'm mentioning all this because France's offense legit should be able to score 3+ goals for the rest of the tournament. Everyone else plays in a fun play style, a progressive play style. So this should be really an interesting game in rest of the tournament. This will be France's toughest matchup though, because Morocco is playing very well. Nothing taking against them. Everything is working for them. Their defense and counterattacking is truly intimidating. France is going to give you chances just off their play style alone. The high press allows you for overlapping balls, so that will be interesting to see. France's midfield should be fine though. Kone and Rabiot have been nothing less of sensational in this tournament, in my opinion. France as a whole are the best team in the game, and in my opinion will beat Morocco. I don't think Morocco just has enough to beat a juggernaut in France. Morocco have had, a great run. You know what I mean? But I think that ends today against France. France's offense is too much. Their defense is very great. Their midfield, not even had the biggest names, has been the best midfield other than Bellingham in this tournament, in my opinion. I see France taking this in a comfortable, maybe comfortable but chaotic 3-1. It's gonna be a lot of back and forth, right, as these teams play that way. But I think it'll be a 3-1, borderline 4-1. Mbappe goal. Olise gets an assist, and we'll go with the wild one here. Rabiot gets an assist, Rabiot assists to Doué, I guess. So yeah, I'll go France 4-1 to destroy and beat Morocco as we move on into the next round to play Spain versus Belgium. In this game, I feel this one could either be a barn burner or this could be an awakening point for Spain. As you know, Spain this tournament has been pretty bad for their standards. Their offense has looked very bad without Nico Williams. They haven't been able to really put on a Spain-esque performance as we've been able to see. And they've had some mediocre performances. Mediocre against Cape Verde. They destroyed Saudi Arabia. They beat Uruguay barely. They beat a weak Austria, and they beat Portugal. They haven't really looked impressive, in my opinion. Now, Belgium, on the other hand, have looked terrible in the first half of the tournament, and now they're really heating up. You saw them heat up at the last 10 minutes against Senegal when they made that comeback. They're heating up against USA, where they destroyed America. But I will say, though, as an American, maybe this is cope, but I feel as if America beat themselves more than Belgium beat them. I don't think Belgium did anything spectacular in that game. I think Belgium did what they had to do to win. which is just stay level-headed and counterattack. And America's just making so many mistakes, misleading passes. But anyway, off of them, let's get on to the game. KDB and Doku will be fresh for this game because they benched the last game. That'll be big for Belgium. Spain has looked bad this entire tournament, as I said. I don't think anyone fears this version of Spain. Yamal has been terrible this entire tournament, in my opinion. But no one has mentioned it yet because of an injury. That's apparently so bad. That's a terrible injury, even though he's been playing every single game, damn near the entire match, right? All good though. I've been saying this entire tournament, without Nico Williams, Spain is a terrible offense. In my opinion, I feel like this should be a more general consensus. Nico Williams is more important than Yamal because he's the reason Yamal looks good, right? Just like at Barcelona with Rafinha, Yamal needs someone to draw attention away from him because he's not capable of carrying a team on his own. He's not that good of a player, right? So this is what Nico does, right? Nico makes teams have to play one-on-one coverage on Yamal and Nico at the same time. But with no threat on the left wing, like Bayern is terrible. Shout out to my mom's coworker Greg. Me and him talk about it every time they play. Why is Bayern's weak ass on the field? Like Ferran Torres could play over there. There's a plethora of people they can just slot in because that's just Spain's play style. But Bayern has been so poor for Spain. Like I said, though, if Nico is playing, it completely opens up this entire team entirely. Nico presses, plays like a god in a Spain jersey, and frees up so much for Yamal. He's so pivotal for this team moving forward. Nico doesn't even seem close to being 100%, though. If he didn't log a single minute in a 96-minute game against Portugal where it's 0-0 into the last second, I don't know how close he is to being healthy, but I doubt we see him play in the Belgian game for a long time. Also, another thing I want to mention, Spain's elite defense agenda is very disingenuous. In my opinion, Spain hasn't played one good offense this entire tournament. You know what I mean? Of course, they're not going to give up a goal. Like I said, the teams they ran up against, I mentioned already, but to do that quickly, they've played Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, Austria, and Portugal. Portugal with a 41-year-old Ronaldo. Pedro, I don't know how he has a job, Neto. And Rafael, I don't know how he ever had a job, Leao, as their attack. And they had a little bit of João Felix in there for a little bit of fun. But it's just a terrible attack. So the defense hasn't been tested yet, in my opinion. And they maybe tested this game because Belgium has been able to score a lot of goals recently. So we'll see what that looks like. But even though, with all that being said, even with this, Belgium isn't beating Spain. I'm going with the favorite here. Spain is too good for Belgium to beat them. If Belgium does beat them, I'll do laps around the house and I'll record it for the next video. But I just can't see that happening. They're not that good of a team. Spain is Spain. Spain still has the best play style on paper and should run Belgium off the park. Belgium has looked great against America, but come on, it's the USA. Spain is miles ahead of them on their worst day. And Belgian players are older and slower and just really aren't going to be, it's not going to help. Especially how Spain plays. The midfield is so aggressive and dominant with Pedri and Rodri. Yeah, I think they'll just get killed by their tiki-taka level of play. And it's only a matter of if Spain can put the ball in the back of the net, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Spain is too much. We're going to go Spain to win this one 3-0. Next up, man. In my opinion, this will be the game of the tournament so far. Now, obviously, all four of these games can be game of the tournament. A lot of heavy hitters in this quarterfinals here, but I think this will be game of the tournament. We have England, Harry Kane, and Jude Bellingham versus Norway, Erling Haaland, and others. Sorry if that's disrespectful. I don't care. Shout out to Norway. Shout out to England. Let's dissect this real quick. England has looked iffy this entire World Cup, if I'm being honest. Ever since that Croatia game, after the second half of the Croatia game, that is, England has looked like they're just using superhero performances like from Bellingham and Harry Kane. You know what I mean? I think if I can recall correctly, Bellingham had a superhero performance against Panama. Kane obviously won them the game against DR Congo. And Mexico recently, Bellingham and Kane together were too much for Mexico. Mexico put up a fantastic fight, though. Great game, fantastic game to watch that one live. So England hasn't looked really that good this entire tournament. They really just been getting by the power of we just have two of the best players in the world, whereas Norway has this entire tournament, barring one game, in my opinion, has looked very good, very great. The France game where they rest their players, only one that is really tampering their how do I say this, record, because they thrashed Iraq. They had a great competitive game against Senegal, great competitive game against Ivory Coast, and a sensational game against Brazil, where I feel like everybody on that team played remarkably, especially Erling Haaland. Haaland is becoming a global sensation in America. Obviously, he's obviously a global sensation outside of America, but in America, there's several people talking about who's this 6'5" dog who can jump 20 feet in the air, who can make shots from outside the box, this big Norwegian brute, saying all these great things about Haaland. He truly deserves it. Haaland has, I believe, 7 goals in this tournament so far. Remarkable. He genuinely, whoever wins this game could legit have a very great chance of making the final to play whoever makes it out on the other side. Obviously, judging by my shirt, you know how things are making out there is France. But yeah, man, this game, let's break it down. I said Norway loves possession and they love to counter. They have been a remarkable team all together. They've all worked well together so well. A well-oiled machine Norway is. However, England love to play very open and play possession, just like Norway. This is almost a mirror match in my opinion. Only difference is the talent levels, right? Obviously, England has the bigger players, the better players overall, but Norway as a team, I feel, has been so consistent and so much better than England has. England hasn't really been great this entire tournament, and Norway has been great this entire campaign, barring one game where they sat their starters. I feel like this game is gonna be moments, and my final thoughts and everything goes on these is England's defense is disgusting. It's very, very bad. Your best center back is Guehi. You're not making it very far in the World Cup. Sorry to break it to you. And Haaland, I believe, will bag a goal against that back line. It's just not a good back line. He's extremely dangerous right now. You have to be very, very careful with him coming into the box or outside the box shots, headers, anything like that. Those 4 backs have a lot to do with once Haaland steps foot on the field. So, but on the other hand, I like to say England's offense is so good, so good. If you have Saka giving you 3 assists in this tournament so far, damn, of course you ain't losing games because he's ass. So yeah, that him being able to help out that much is remarkable. Bellingham has been their player of the tournament in my opinion. Harry Kane's right there pitching in to help. Bellingham does everything: defense, offense, scores, assists, passes. Engine can run all day, all night. Will box to box, run box to box for you. Will score headers. Will score tap in goals. He's the most complete player in the game right now. Jude Bellingham. Remarkable talent. Love that he's on my team. With all that being said, man, Jude and Kane are playing like Batman and Robin, and both are having phenomenal campaigns. And overall, I'm going to go with England in this game. They just have too much for Norway's squad, in my opinion. This game will be an all about moments, as I said earlier. With the star power they have, I trust England's team the most. I feel like the Mexico game was a great coming out party for England, and they should be able to carry that momentum forward. And I'll go England 3-2 or 2-1. However, I will say this before I go to the next game. Norway has a legit chance, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. I feel like it's a 55-45, 55 England, 45 Norway. I'm only going with England because of talent and squad, but Norway could easily win this game, in my opinion. They have a lot of things going for them. The counters, Haaland is there against that terrible back line. If Norway can control the midfield and they can advance play, they can easily beat England like 2-0. But I'm just going to go England with the safe pick for this one. Now, with the last game of the quarterfinals of Argentina versus Switzerland, Argentina has just the same way England and Spain have looked. Not good in this tournament at all, in my opinion. They've looked really, really bad for their standards. They've won every single game, of course. You know, they're beating teams. But these last 2 games, Cape Verde and Egypt, all very too close for my liking. Them struggling with those teams and aspirations to go back-to-back just doesn't add up, in my opinion. I feel like Argentina and Spain, and England really, are all on fraud watch. Those 3 teams have been struggling way too much, and they've all had the luxury, except for England, obviously. They beat a really good team in Mexico. But Argentina have had the luxury of not playing anybody really good yet, and Messi was able to wield Switzerland to beat Colombia, so he gets an easier game before he has to play Norway or England. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'll keep saying it until they lose, which they won't. They aren't going to win this World Cup. If Messi at 40 years old is your best offensive player, you are not beating France. You're not beating England or Norway. You could beat Spain, but you could beat Spain. But that's it. You're not beating the 3 best teams in the tournament right now currently, because he can't do it all against teams that have that much firepower like Norway or England or France. That's not going to work. Because if Messi doesn't have a good game, what are you going to do? You're cooked now. Back to the game, though. Argentina hasn't looked great at all, but Switzerland, they don't have enough, man. Switzerland doesn't have enough. They're in over their heads in this game. I'd love to be proven wrong. I would love for Argentina to get out of this tournament. I would love for that to happen for a lot of reasons. More than soccer. If you know, you know. The Messi fans glazing him for scoring on nobodies is annoying as well. And also, I will say this though, leading on to what I said earlier, if Argentina doesn't wake up and realize they can't play weak opponents the entire World Cup, they'll get embarrassed sooner rather than later. And I feel as if early prediction, next round they're gone. So you know what I mean. In this video, I'll go Argentina to win 2-0 versus a poor side in Switzerland. Messi will probably score, get an assist. People will believe he's back and things of that nature. But all I say, man, if you are also an Argentina hater, just be patient. Just be patient. Wait until he plays some competition. I'll say it again in this video. You cannot win a World Cup with Messi being your best player on a team at the age of 40. It doesn't add up. So we're going to go Argentina, but you can easily beat Switzerland's weak ass. So I'll go Argentina 2-0 over Switzerland in a very one-sided, boring game. Well, guys, we're at the end of the video. If you could, please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to keep praying. Keep God number one. Keep being positive. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them. Give someone a compliment. You never know how far those compliments can go for someone if they're having a bad day or a good day. Depends on what that is. And with all that being said, this has been Dr. Natrell. You can schedule your next appointment at the front desk.